This presentation is on inserting charts and inserting charts specifically into PowerPoint. And even more so than the previous presentation, there's a lot of things you can do, but I suggest you play with it. You can insert charts that display data from Excel or some other applications. Worst case scenario, you can always do a screenshot, but inserting charts has some advantages because they are linked to the data if that is valuable to you. You can certainly change them, format them, and repair broken links as needed. So why would you insert charts? You might have financial data, scientific data, other numerical data that you want to present that's part of the message in your PowerPoint presentation. And certainly there are differences in just inserting a chart or a graph versus active links to Excel. Active links are live connections where if you change it in the Excel file, it will automatically update the information in the PowerPoint file, which can be handy, but it can also be dangerous. The reason I say dangerous is if you delete the Excel file or move it to a different folder, that link becomes broken. And if you've deleted it, that link is broken for good. If you've moved it, you can always reestablish a new link. But maybe you're going to play around with that Excel data and you're going to do some stuff after you've created the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint looks perfect, and so you play around with the data and then you go to present it, and now what's on the screen in front of your audience? Your playtime data, not the data you wanted to show them. It changed. So when do I see linking working well? Probably one of the best examples I can give was weekly presentations on sales that we did, or weekly presentations on market share. Well, it was same presentation, but some of it was sales data on some slides and some was market share based on our Nielsen data reports that we would get weekly from our paid Nielsen service. And so we would update every week the data in the Excel file and then go in and present it at our management team meeting. And we didn't have to worry about changing the PowerPoint each week with all this new data. It was always new. Just open up the PowerPoint and the new data is right there because it's already been done in Excel. And that's really handy. That's really handy. It takes an extra tedious step of updating not only your Excel data, which is the core main repository of your company data information that you're trying to present, but now I don't have to redo it in PowerPoint and do it again. Take that a table and put that table in, take a graph and put that graph in, or chart. I don't have to do it all again because it's automatically linked. So here you can look at embedding charts in the tools that I showed you in the previous presentation. There is a insert chart button on certain new slides. If it is a content slide, it will have this insert chart option grayed out. It won't display when you are showing the slide presentation, but it'll show grayed out like this when you're building a new slide. Or you could just go to the insert menu, which is usually what I do anyway. I tend to be a ribbon person when I'm building charts rather than the tools down here, because the ribbon's always there. These tools are not always there. So I go insert chart. Again, Excel, Microsoft graph presentation. Again, there's different tools. Don't worry about the difference here. There are different ways to get chart information, but it certainly is easiest when you're dealing with PowerPoint to be using Excel. Only goes to, well, it's only logical that Microsoft would make it very easy to put charts in among their own Office programs. So Excel to Word, Excel to PowerPoint, etc. Very easy. Not always as easy to figure out for other programs, but there are other charting tools, and you can put other charting tool data into PowerPoint. You just might have to do a little bit of playing around or searching the internet for how do I put a chart from program X into a Microsoft PowerPoint slide. I can almost guarantee you that whatever program you're using, somebody's asked that question on Google and there's an answer already out there. Once you have inserted a chart, there are tools within the chart tools menu. When you select a chart, it opens up chart tools. Just like when you select a picture, it opens picture tools. So there's this new hidden ribbon that pops up when you're actively selecting a chart. And within that, you can change the chart style. So you can make it look a little fancier. You can reformat it so it looks good for a PowerPoint slide. PowerPoint is well aware, or at least Microsoft is well aware, that how a chart looks in Excel might be one type of formatting, but when you put it on a PowerPoint slide, you might want it to look different for a formal presentation. So you can adjust various aspects of your charts from the Chart Tools menu. Benefits of linking: you maintain modularity, separates the data from the chart. So essentially it sees the data, it sees the chart separately, and an ability to update data quickly and refresh the chart. So essentially all you do is click on the chart, there's a refresh, and it will bring in the new data without having to insert a new updated chart. You just refresh it. Enhanced chart formatting options. You'd certainly have more flexibility with a linked chart. Additional options within that chart tool ribbon when you have a linked chart rather than an embedded chart. The details of that are what I would consider intermediate level concepts. You want to push yourself a little bit, play around, open up Excel, create a table, create a chart, and play with them. Try to put in a different table, a different chart, see how it updates, change some of the data and see how they update. Again, play around, that's the best way to learn. So this goes into linking. I would never ask you to link on a midterm or final exam. Don't worry about that. I want you to understand the concept, the difference between an embedded chart or table versus a linked chart or table. I could ask you that, but I won't ask you to actually do it. That's more of an intermediate advanced level topic that we're not going to get into in this class. Now here's the refresh data button tool on the special chart tools ribbon. If there's a broken link, it will tell you that there is a broken link. And so you either rename or move a spreadsheet or delete the file altogether, or the file becomes corrupted. That happened to me once where the link was broken. I'm like, what the hell? Why is it broken? And I didn't do anything to the original file, and there was a corruption in the file. And so I had to repair the file, and then everything was back to normal. Once I repaired the file, then I could, the Excel file, I could then repair the link, and it found it just fine. Smart art diagrams. Again, smart art is specific to Microsoft Office and only certain years of Microsoft Office. I do not know what the latest Office 365 has in terms of smart art. I know they ditched some of their specialized art tools that I became familiar with in the past. So I'm not going to even try to go into how these smart art tools might work. There are some fabulous pre-built tools, exactly where they are hidden, which ones are current in the version you have, and which are supported by Microsoft these days. I am not even going to get into that. But smart art, the nice thing about smart art is it recognizes there are some common things people try to build. And flow charts or organizational charts like this are some of those. So by having an org chart, it might be something you can build much easier using smart art than building it manually, piece by piece, drawing box or rectangles and drawing lines, adding text. That can be tedious, to say the least, to build it manually. And that you can also use other tools to do it. There's flowcharter tools that build great flow charts and organizational charts and things like that. So there are other tools, if you have access to them, that you can build them quickly. But the idea is, why buy a flowcharting program, or why learn how to use a freeware flowcharting program when you don't need to? If you can do it in Excel or PowerPoint or Word directly, why not access them through these smart art types of elements? So that is it for this presentation.